I believe my self-concept, it's always changing, and sometimes it's clear and sometimes it's chaotic. But I've always wondered if I am creating for myself, if I'm making art for me, or if I'm doing it just to be seen or to feel seen, to feel admired. And I believe that's part of my fantasy, being admired by other people. But I need to stop lying to myself. I need to stop lying to myself. Sometimes I just create a fantasy in my head, expecting the best outcome to happen, and it's never like that, you know? It never ends up good. And as long as art is my language, I feel like I'm going to be okay. But sometimes you can fall into like a fantasy world. You're not in reality anymore. And I am there currently. I create just to feel admired, just to feel this love from other people. The love that I put out there, I want it back so bad. And that's not good. Sometimes I understand the feeling of art making visible what's going on inside of my head, but it's not visible to others. And that's the problem. I should stop performing. I should stop making art so to the point of dependence, you know? Because at the time that I try to fix my life, I try to fix my current state, I realize that there are levels and there are layers in my personality and in my life and in my fantasy world. The fantasies that I want to achieve, which is being free, flying like a bird around the world, being happy, everything taken care of, being in love and creating, you know? That's the ultimate goal. To create, to love, and to know. Knowledge, love, and creation, I believe, are the ultimate goal, and those are my fantasies. Being in a state of mind that's helping me grow and evolve into a higher state of a human being. But why does everything involves money? Okay, I always end up talking about the same thing. And an important part about my personality is that yes, I do have layers, but they are layers in my head that only exist when someone else is watching, or like watching me perform my art, or like try to understand my art. That's the version of me as an artist that I like the most. And it's dangerous. It's dangerous because it almost sounds like I'm insecure about myself. But no, I'm so obsessed with myself that I want others to be obsessed too. And I don't want anything less than that. It's not like I'm chasing the acceptance, but I'm more than that, I'm chasing the admiration, the connection. You know, I'm always changing, and I expect others to change the way that I change myself. And there's a tension between the way that I want my art to be perceived and how others actually interpret my work. Because the moment that you put yourself out there, you're going to be misunderstood. People are going to mutate the actual concept and meaning that you try to give to the world. And that's part of virality. I want to be viral, but why? Because my message is not going to be understood the way that I want to. And that's the problem. Do I want to be admired or do I want to be understood? And there's the beauty. As long as I keep creating, I'm going to be okay. But the creation, when I put my creation out there, it's just out of my hands. The meaning is out of my hands. The message, the beauty, because it doesn't belong to me anymore. It belongs to the person that sees the art, that perceives the beauty of the art. And that's when the real message comes to place. I always try to create my art, trying to make it a mirror of me. And it's this uncertainty about the future, how I crave, how I long. All the time I'm longing for better things, for myself, for my growth, for my fantasy. So I've always chased admiration, but when am I going to get tired of that? Because it's not about fame, it's about connection. That's when you become like an actual creator, when you're making someone feel something. You change the actual message and you create a storytelling with the things that you're creating so people feel related to what you say. But then it's when I ask myself, what do I want to do with my life? Do I want to build something and people to admire it? Yes. Do I want to paint something to put in the building that I created so people admire it? Also, yes. So creation is the ultimate goal for an artist. But do I want to create endlessly? I don't want to do it for the money. Although I wish it gave me enough money to feel relaxed, because that's also the fantasy, to not worry about things and things get like taken care of. But I don't want to live quietly. That's the problem. I want my art to be perceived, to be admired. I want my art to be out there. I want people to look at my art and be like, I want more of this. I want to keep consuming this. I want people to get addicted. I want to be remembered loudly. But I also want to keep studying architecture and I want to work. That's the issue. I haven't been able to work because there are not jobs here. So the only reason and the only perspective that I have on my head, for me in a year, I don't want to be here anymore. I need to get out of here in order for my head to process life, reality, and expand. Letting art guide me. And the only way that I get the most inspired is by being outside of my comfort zone. Maybe our self concept is our perspective of life and how we make others feel with what we create. So I don't want to be admired. I just want to be understood. I just want people to see my art and understand what I went through. I want to connect with the person that sees my art and make them feel something. But I need to put myself out there. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I keep doing my art. Like, I'm on the right track, but it feels like I'm on the wrong track because I don't have the means to expand my perception, to travel, to do things that require more means in order to experience life. And that's something that makes me feel limited. Okay, that's the video.